Fascinating tactical battle here. Steve Gray's going to be important, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to have to stamp his authority here. He doesn't want this too much wrestling and clinching. He wants to break them up and keep it clean.
Parker said he's going to box, but he will also fight fire with fire when needed. But you sense that will be later on in this 12-rounder. WBO Intercontinental title on the line. It's really just a good heavyweight matchup in what's an excellent blue ribbon division.
I mean, he's trying to box behind the jab, Parker, and he's having some success. But all in all, I think Chisora will be happy that with the way the fight's going. He's a good left hook there from double left hook from Parker. But all in all, I think Chisora's it's his type of fight.
Three gone. It was a main event that they have to live up to after this. Super to see the respect between the old foes, and they're both brilliant, they really are. Fight of the year. She's been in one last year, Natasha Jonas, and although she came just on the wrong side of the decision this time, she can be so proud of her efforts. What a 10-rounder. Let's see it again.
The left hand or the right hand, whatever hand you come up the middle.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round 4.
Fourth of 12, the white and gold of Joseph Parker and the purple and gold of Dereck Chisora. How have you got it so far?
I think Chisora's won all 3 rounds, and obviously the first was a 10-8. Parker's having his moments. He's landed some nice short left hooks on the way in of Chisora, but like I say, all in all, I think the fight's going the way Chisora would want it to go.
Not sustaining it for you, Parker.
No, he's having successes, but in drips and drabs, he's not doing enough to win these rounds. Not yet, anyway. You know, I think Chisora will be happy. That's a good left hook there for Parker. That was a good shot, and a good right hand as well.
Yeah, found the room for those to get his levers working, Joseph Parker, and they would have expected Andy Lee and the team, and Isaac Lowe's been around as well. It's part of Team Fury, really. It was Tyson who set them up, and they would have been expecting this big onslaught. But I think they were planning to come on late when Chisora starts tiring. He didn't tire, to his credit, against Alexander Usyk. He was a steam train the whole way through.
I think one thing Chisora's always had is fantastic stamina. He's, you know, for a big guy who puts a lot into a lot of shots, he fights at a pace and he sustains the pace. He keeps it going for the full 12 rounds.
Well, he was way down, wasn't he, against Carlos Takam, and suddenly he just outlasted him and stopped him dramatically. You never quite know with Dereck, both inside and out of the ring. He did really well in the Dillian White fights. You know, shame in a way he got knocked out in the second one, but the first one was a brilliant affair, and he was up, wasn't he, in the rematch?
Yeah, I mean, the first one was a really close fight, and the second one, like you say, he was ahead on the cards, and Dillian knocked him out in the 11th round, beat him to the left hook, beat him to the punch.
Yeah, it was an incredible shot, wasn't it, from Dillian White, who's back in the big time after that revenge win over Alexander Povetkin. Looked good, didn't he, Dillian, and he waits for his opportunity.
Parker just looking for the right hand, the left uppercut there, and I think that's a good shot. I think he should try that again, because Chisora is trying to bob and weave and come underneath and stay low and come under.
Nice right hand from Dereck Chisora.
The right hand left uppercut is a good combination. See Parker just landing it again there.
He's got that hand speed and maybe that extra bit of quality, but Chisora still digging in. It's really warming up this in the 4th round. Grueling battle.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of good body shots going in here from Chisora, and even though Parker's taking them now, you know, are they going to take the legs away in the second half of the fight?
Don't let him push you around. You're the bigger man. You're a stronger man. You've got to jab. You got to pick your feet up a bit more. You're just walking back so lazy. He's slow as hell. He's, you know what I mean? Pick your feet a bit more and keep straight and jab. And when the time is right, right hand left hand.
One of the most respected people in the business, isn't he, Andy Lee, who was trained for so long by Emmanuel Stewart, the master. Also had time with Adam Booth, and he's a really knowledgeable guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a really good boxing brain, very analytical, breaks things down, very technical, very tactical, and you know, he's a great fella as well.
Hall of Fame trainer Buddy McGirt with the glasses, though.
10 seconds, corners.
Keep ripping those body shots in that movie.
Yeah, Buddy telling keep ripping the body shots, keep working the body. He's already put a lot of good body shots in, and they're going to have their effect.
Ruben Tavares in there, David Hayes, former conditioning coach, who has the job of whipping Dereck into the best possible shape. I guess when he's on it, Chisora, he's on it, but you never quite know, do you? Such an unlikely combination, isn't it? The Hay and Chisora partnership after their antics earlier on in their lives, in their careers. The bottle throwing and the big dust up at Upton Park.
Only in boxing would you see it.
And still David was working way into the night, trying to get hold of David Higgins out in New Zealand and trying to sort out the ring walk issues. Dereck, I think, was just playing music in his room.
Yeah, but I think this, you know, Parker's trying to get a bit more room now, trying to get a good right hook there. From, see, there's them good body shots again from Chisora.
Cracking body shots from Dereck Chisora, really accurate, and you can see the reddening up of Joseph Parker, who's always been pretty resilient. Yes, down against Dillian White, but had White rocking and rolling at the end of their fight. And obviously went the distance with Anthony Joshua, beat Andy Ruiz on point, so he's always been tough, hasn't he? Very athletic too, Parker.
Yeah, I think Andy Lee was frustrated a little bit between rounds there, telling him, you know, you're the bigger, stronger guy. I think he feels that Chisora's pushing him around and bullying him a little bit and dictating the terms in there, which he is.
Is he the bigger, stronger guy, though? You know, Chisora weighing in at 17-12 to Parker's 17-3. Yes, they're both natural heavyweights, but he's so strong, isn't he, Chisora, naturally?
Yeah, no, I think Chisora is the stronger one, but I think Andy Lee was trying to, you know, give him a pep talk and G him up and say, you know, you can't have this good right hand there for Parker. But, you know, Chisora has been, you know, ploughing forward, pushing him back, pinning him on the ropes, working the body. And I think Andy Lee doesn't want Parker giving Chisora so much momentum. He wants to, you know, use his physical strength himself, use his left arm, make some room.
Yep, this will encourage Dereck Chisora for the second half of the fight, and when he's feeling tired, he knows that he can get to Parker.
Yeah, and also all those body shots, all the body work that Chisora's doing, that's going to take its, even though Parker's taking them now, they're going to have their effect, certainly in the second half of the fight.
It's a very different fight to Joseph Parker's last one against Junior Farr, who was unbeaten. Their old amateur rivals. He didn't look great, Parker, even though he got the win.
There's that looping right hand again over the top. Fell short, but those are good body shots. Jabs the body, left hooks to the body. Again, you know, these are all going to have an effect, and I think they're going to catch up with Parker in the second half of the fight, really are. They're really going to take their toll. These are good body attack again from Chisora. You see it there, the elbow coming down.
Now, people accuse him of being raw and ungamely at times, Chisora, but yeah, British Commonwealth, European champion, got the skills too.
You rip that body shots in it.
10 seconds, corners.
Two hands inside for the body.
Seconds out.
Yep, there's the tactic, whip those body shots in. They'll pay dividends, that's what Matt Macklin thinks, down the stretch. Here's the 6th round of this heavyweight battle here in Manchester between the 37-year-old Dereck Chisora and Joseph Parker, 8 years younger, fresher, and he's the former world champion as well, and the favourite going into this.
You're looking for the feinting the jab there, and then through the left hook, right hand combination. Again,
Good shot from Parker there.
good right hand, left uppercut.
Is this where he starts to implement more, Joseph Parker? The anticipated and expected strong start from Chisora.
Chisora just starting from too far out there, needs to get a little bit closer. Good right hand then for Parker as he comes in.
Alexander Usyk used his beautiful skills at times, didn't he, to twist and turn Dereck Chisora.
Yeah, well, you know, Usyk being a natural cruiserweight coming up, very agile, lighter on his feet as well. He was able to maneuver. You know, Parker is a much bigger man than Usyk. Yes, carries more power than Usyk, but he's not as agile. Good shots there from Parker, though. That was good work.
Suddenly a very quick combination from Joseph Parker. Maybe listening to Andy Lee, as if he's got to stamp his authority more. It's a better round, this, for Joe Parker. And he needs it, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, he does. I think Chisora, clear winner so far, winning most. I've only given Parker the 4th round so far, but this is definitely his best round of the fight so far.
Yeah, feinting, moving well, Parker, giving Chisora some angles. I think that's a good uppercut, nice body shot and an uppercut from Dereck Chisora.
Yep, that was a good shot from Chisora. Put a couple of body shots in, then finished the combination with the right uppercut through the middle, snapping the head back of Parker. Now Parker looking for the uppercut.
Uppercut, key shot in this fight. We always felt it might be. With the advancing Chisora, maybe Parker's honey punch, but...
Good uppercut there again from Parker. Yeah, I think the uppercuts are probably the shots for Chisora. You know, with someone like Chisora who's, you know, bobbing and weaving and ducking low and trying to come in low, you know, throwing the right hand over the top, often you overshoot and it goes over the top of him, but if you bring it up the middle, chances are he might duck onto one.
Chisora for the big right hand, but it's been a good session of boxing from Joseph Parker. Still, Chisora intent on hurling out the body shots, but better from Parker, who stood his ground and got home with plenty. Really good round of boxing. Let's get to Andy Clark, see how he's scoring it.
Well, it's warming up into a really, really good fight to watch. I've got it 4 rounds to 2 in favour of Chisora so far. So with the knockdown, that's a 3-point margin. I've given Parker rounds 3 and round 6, the round that we've just seen. And the reason I've given him those 2 is because in those 2 rounds, he's held his feet and he's looked to meet Chisora and really let his hands go at times. In the 3rd, he landed a couple of really sweet left hands and backed him up a little bit, and he did the same thing a couple of times in round 6. The rest of the time, Chisora's been on the front foot, rumbling forward, and Parker's been trying to box him off the back foot, and he hasn't been able to keep him off. He's boxed well out of the southpaw stance as well at times, Dereck. He's moved his head well on the way in. It's very nicely set up for the second half.
It certainly is. Tantalising, this one. Following on from the Katie Taylor, Natasha Jonas epic. And this is a good heavyweight tussle. Plenty of commitment and spirit and energy from Dereck Chisora, who's got to be in a lead here. A fairly handy lead from the first half, but a long way to go. And I think Team Parker would have known that, Matt, that this is more their territory now.
Well, he's the younger man, he's the fresher man, but it depends on how hard you've had to work in the first half of the fight. Can you claw it back? You know, I've got Chisora, I think 3 points up here, you know, 4 rounds to 2 and the knockdown. And, you know, so far it's it's been his kind of fight. The tactics he's wanted. He's wanted to push him onto the ropes, work the body. But, you know, the second half now, there's a good double jab right hand there from Parker. Parker will come into it for him now. Nice jab.
Again, looking for the body shots, Chisora. It's a calmness about him. The jab from Parker. And a lovely bit of work there from Joseph Parker. It's a good clash of styles, this.
Yeah, well, it's the boxer against the fighter, isn't it? You got the Parker trying to keep it on the jab at long range, where he can land the double jab, straight right hand, and you got Del Boy trying to slip and close the distance, pin him on the ropes, work the body, have it up close and personal.
More boxing technique shown tonight from Dereck Chisora. Maybe that's what Buddy McGirt has brought in. Remember, he had the MMA guys, didn't he, with him in the corner for Usyk, and it was all about just breaking, somehow trying to break Usyk's hard. And a bit more cultured from Chisora, but when Parker finds the room, he's getting success.
Yeah, at times here, Chisora's going southpaw on the inside when he's got him pinned to the rope, trying to maybe create a bit of room to thread the left uppercut into the pit of the stomach.
Yep, he's been switch hitting. Dereck Chisora. Left to the body, really trying to sink that one in. Tire Parker.
Here he comes, here he comes. Very good stepping, lovely stepping. Right, here he comes. Here he comes, that's it, beautiful. Jab, 1, 2. Yes!
Good work from Joseph Parker. That was class, and Chisora just momentarily might have been hurt there in the 7th round. He certainly caught a couple of real quality shots, and that's better from the New Zealand man.
Yeah, good hand speed there from Parker when he opened up, double jab, right hand, left uppercut as well, left hook. Good hand speed from him.
Yeah, this is nice from Parker. Back with the right hand from Chisora. But there's been signs here that Parker's quality is beginning to show.
Big man, you went to sleep on me that round. Hey, you went to sleep, you know that, right?
Sorry, coach.
Okay? Now listen, let's get back on the pressure. Don't give this motherfucker an inch.
Excuse the language
Okay,
from
when you back away,
Buddy
you
in the corner, but
you can't give him no confidence. Okay. You understand me? Okay, let's go back to the body work, baby. You're getting away from it. You're looking for the 1 point.
Sorry, coach.
Okay, double
big
jab.
deep breaths from Dereck Chisora. There's manager David Hay living it all outside of the ropes.
He's starting the round off good again.
Yeah, I think Buddy McGirt wants Chisora to go back to the body work and then finish the combination upstairs to the head, but stay on the body.
10 seconds, corners.
Chisora actually pulling away from a lot of those shots, even though Parker opened up there. He was reflecting him off his shoulder. Was Chisora.
Slow off his stool, Dereck Chisora. Is he feeling it a little bit? Round 8, 5 to go. Chisora, if you need the identification, in the purple and white. And the white and gold with those tassels of Joseph Parker, both fathers to several daughters. Derek's got a couple, Joe's got 3. They chatted about them over breakfast. Family men and proud warriors. Chisora trying to get a big couple of shots on and dig another left hook into the body.
Hey, stop back. Listen, when I call stop, you stop. Come on, Joe. Snap.
Warrior, isn't he? Dereck Chisora. Amazing he's still going after all these years and putting in these performances.
Oh, he's absolutely tough as old boots. You know, this is good body work. This is, you know, a lot of... He's landing a lot of good body shots on Parker. These are going to start having their effect.
I mean, he lost to Dillian White, he lost to Alexander Usyk, beat David Price in 4 rounds. Artur Spilka was a good win. Yeah, he's just blown hot and cold at times, hasn't he, Dereck? Agit Kabayel was an awful performance in Monaco, but, you know, he seems to be loving life in the haymaker camp, and a good right hand there from Chisora, and has he found a bit of a second wind here in the 8th round?
Coming in behind a double jab there, pushing Parker back. Parker firing back.
Right, step back, don't punch. Nice and clean, both of you. Box. Good, dude. Come on, Joe.
Can Parker put a real dent into Chisora? Even back him up in any way or hurt him, do you think? There was a sign, I thought, in the 7th round, Matt, that he was slightly shaken. Chisora's always had a pretty good chin, hasn't he? But he has been stopped a few times.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think Parker's hurt him in the last round. I think he opened up and showed good hand speed and put combinations together, but I don't think he's hurt Chisora yet.
Right, step boxing. Step back, step back.
He couldn't hurt Anthony Joshua, could he? It was a rather soporific affair, certainly from Parker. They were both unbeaten when they met in Wales in March 2018, but he did get that win over Andy Ruiz, and he did predict Ruiz would give Joshua all sorts of trouble in Madison Square Garden. Look at this between the pair of them. Great work from Parker. There's the hand speed. He found the room, and he's now trying to club Chisora and play him in his own game.
Yeah, he opened up good there, Parker. Really good burst, fast 3-punch hand combination, really good hand speed.
Back comes Chisora, body shots and an uppercut. Right hand from Parker. Best action of the fight here in the 8th round. And Parker is driving punches home now. And he's really going to test Chisora as he just wanders a little bit back to the corner unsteady.
And you can't be taking no shots inside, you understand me?
Sorry, coach.
Huh? Hey, every time you throw the jab at it, that's to break his rhythm, but you're getting away from it, that big man.
Breathe.
You gotta breathe, okay? Okay, listen.
Yeah.
We gotta keep the heat on.
What another good round. He has entertained us, Dereck Chisora, hasn't he, royally?
Absolutely. I mean, you see there, Parker opening up with the combination. That was good there. He got a little bit of room and landed the right hand, left uppercut, right hand, 3-punch combination. He's got good, you know, when he opens up, he looks good. You see there, Chisora landing the uppercut. I mean, it's flowed, hasn't it? You know, the both men in that round have had their success. You see Parker opening up there with combinations, but Chisora having plenty of success with the body work as well.
Round 9.
Pretty calm in the red corner. Have you seen any influence of Andy Lee in Parker's work so far? I know they've only been together 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, I think Andy Lee was saying they wanted to work. They were working a lot on the right hand, but I don't think Chisora's given Parker the room to set the right hand up, to get, you know, to land it. It's been difficult for him. He's been smothering him, really, pressing him on the ropes. You know, those last few rounds, Parker's managed to find a bit of room and open up and chuck the right hand down, but you know, Chisora's done a very good job at keeping his fight at close quarters. That's good from Parker, looking for the right hand, left uppercut.
Right, sit back, sit back. Let's go again. Box.
Again, southpaw from Chisora, mixing it up as he comes in. Seems to have got more confident, Parker, as the fight's gone on in utilising that artillery. It was a shocking start for him down in the opening few seconds of the fight.
Good job, good job, good job.
Signs of a good jab and qualities in Joseph Parker.
Well, this is where, you know, this stage of the fight, you'd think the younger man Parker should be trying to pull away here, but of course, obviously, Chisora's landed so many good body shots. Does he have the legs to do it now?
I think he still looks quite fresh to me, Joseph Parker, and remember, he is the former world champion, an honour that Dereck Chisora hasn't managed. He did, you know, try everything against Vitaly Klitschko back in 2012, a long, long time ago.
Beautiful, beautiful. Left. Good round, Stay sharp, turn. That's it. Great work, Joe. Great work.
Good work from Parker, this, for me, Matt.
Yeah, good. It's a good round. Nice double jab there. He's changing angles as well. He's keeping Chisora turning.
Both of you. Box.
Nice, Joe, they're saying from the corner. That Tyson Fury's watching from America. He said he's now part of the Gypsy family, the Traveller family, Joe Parker.
stepping around him, Joe. Keep going around. Hand up.
They've trained together alongside each other in Morecambe for a bit as well, and
Back on him now, Joe. Back on him.
I know he'll be willing Parker on, and but so many too Dereck Chisora fans over the years. Lives in Hampstead now, that represents North London, and can be absolutely charming outside the ring as well as slightly unpredictable at times. Good guys and a good fight.
Put your legs out. Put your legs out. Stretch your legs out. There you go. Okay, breathe. Look at it. Take a deep breath. Let out slow. Okay, listen. You have to keep.
You're going left, right, you're jabbing, but you got to be switched on. When you do something good, stay disciplined and stay working hard. Don't just say, okay, come get me now. Keep stepping around him and keep jabbing. And setting your right hand up. Here he's coming like that. Step back, right hand, left hook. Jab, jab, and keep moving. Okay?
Sorry.
You're doing good. You're back in the fight now. I think it's an even fight.
Yeah, he's right. He is doing good, and he is back in the fight. Chris Eubank Jr., who beat Marcus Morrison earlier on in the evening alongside Calais Sowland at ringside. Certainly Chisora had the best of the first half, but Andy's right. Joseph Parker right back in it, and a spring to his step at the beginning of the 10th with 3 to go.
Yeah, and I think it's all on these championship rounds now. Can't be a lot in this fight, round either way maybe. But yeah, I think Andy Lee wants Parker to sustain what he's doing. He's having success in bursts when he's putting the jab together, doubling it up, landing the right hand, bringing the left hook or the left uppercut into play and doubling up on it. But then at times then he allows Chisora then to push it back on the ropes. I think Andy Lee wants, oh, that's good work from Parker. That was a lovely right hand, left uppercut combination.
Is that one of the issues with Joseph Parker, that we haven't seen him sustain performances, that he's just sort of maybe switched off at times? I think that has been a criticism.
Yeah, and I think I think Andy Lee was frustrated because Parker's landed some good shots, and then he's stepping up and he's allowing Chisora to step to him and push him back, and it takes the momentum away from the good work that Parker has done. So he wants him to, when he lands that attack, then stand his ground and do it again and sustain it.
3 official judges, but I wonder how Andy Clark has got it. Andy?
Well, through 9 rounds, I've got it level. I've got 5 rounds in favour of Parker, 4 rounds in favour of Chisora, but with a 10-8 in the opening round, that makes it 85 points apiece. I've got Parker winning this round as well, and that would be his 5th in a row for me. 2 of those, the 7th and the 8th, Chisora was winning until the final 30 seconds. Then I felt Parker did enough in the closing stages to take it away from him, but those were a couple of pretty close rounds. But for me, Parker's just beginning to find that space and to catch Chisora coming forward. The head movement for Chisora is slowing down, which is inevitable, really, given what he's put into this fight. And he's put an enormous amount into it, and he will continue to roll forward. And it's a close fight. It's a very close fight.
It is close. It's a bit of a fight of 2 halves. Chisora must have been in a handy lead at the halfway stage even. Parker's corner are acknowledging that, but there's been plenty to like about Joseph Parker in the last 3 or 4 rounds. Cameos of class, but here comes Chisora again, and if he can pin him back on the ropes, and you think if he can nick 1 or 2 of these latter rounds, he might seal the victory.
Well, I've got it the same as Andy Clark. I've got it all square as well, so you know, these last few rounds now, you know, this is where Joseph Parker, being the younger man, he should be looking to try and find another gear here now.
Chisora got the knockdown. He's landed the better body shots, but some of those jabs and right hands of Parker have been tasty too. Chisora putting plenty into this 10th round here, and a nice right hand, and Parker can't go to sleep here. How do you score that one?
Yeah, another close round. Chisora.
Don't sit on the fence, Matt.
No. And I think these last few rounds now, 2 rounds to go. Was that the 10th?
Don't load up. Keep your chin down. Keep stepping around and keep your jab. Box this fella.
Yep, 6 minutes left. His buddy.
Trying to gun you now with that straight right hand.
Yeah, I think Parker landed the nice right hand and that left uppercut. Those are the shots are working well for him. Those early on, Chisora was seeing those coming, or he was getting out of the way of them, but now, obviously, the fatigue and tired, and Parker's just finding a bit more room and a bit more time. He's able to get those shots up.
Matt, we hope that Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua is made for August. We think it will be and announced soon. And underneath that, obviously, you've got Dillian White, you've got Andy Ruiz back against Chris Arreola tonight. You've got Alexander Usyk, Joe Joyce, who had that great win over Daniel Dubois, and Hrgovic and Hunter, and these two. And what is the future for the winner here?
I don't know, the heavyweight division. And like I said, you take those top two, AJ and Fury, out of the equation. After that, you've Dillian White, you've Andy Ruiz.
Deontay?
Yeah, don't forget Deontay Wilder. Yeah, exactly. He's back against Michael Hunter as well.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of fights to still be made. I think what we can say is that these two can still play a part. Dereck Chisora, doesn't look like he's dramatically slowing down in any way. This Indian summer, people were asking him in the bubble this week, is this it if you lose? Is he thinking about retirement? I'm not sure he is.
I think Parker landed a hard shot there. Chisora just backed off and gave ground, which you don't see him do that too often.
There you go, Joe.
There you go, Joe, they're saying.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah, the accuracy from Parker, second half of this fight, has been impressive. But some of these rounds are close, really close, and who wants it more? Surely the younger, fresher man in Parker should be driving himself here. But Chisora still coming on and attempting the body and head and roughing him up. The poker face of Chisora.
Yeah, Chisora's still trying to drive himself forward, but he looks a little bit more tired now, doesn't he? He looks hard working there now.
Yeah, he's certainly not got that energy he had in the first 4 or 5 rounds. And Parker has had time to try out a few of his repertoire, his arsenal, his skills. He's boxed well at times, I think, Joe Parker.
Yeah, got him one up coming into this round, so I think he's probably going to take this round as well.
You've got to expect a massive, massive push from Chisora in the 12th.
Yeah, again, there's that lovely right hand. He's just doubling up on that left hook and the left uppercuts as well now.
Sweet combination there from Joseph Parker. Boxing really well now.
Yeah, tired look from Chisora. Still willing himself on, but doesn't have the same snap as he had in the early rounds.
That's exactly right. The snap, those body shots, which were so accurate. Few and far between. Parker taking over here.
Yeah. Hey. You gotta get this round together. Hey, you let him steal that last round, okay? So now, but listen to me. I don't want you to look for the knockout. I want you to score points.
Okay.
Okay? Scoring points means throwing punches. It's the last round.
Okay.
Don't get paler.
Okay.
But don't fall asleep either.
Okay? Okay.
It's got to be close. Has Chisora done enough in the first half? Remember the knockdown as well, the 10-8. Parker certainly having much more success in the last few rounds.
10 seconds,
It's got to be fairly tight. 3 judges at ringside from Poland, New Zealand, and our own Howard Foster, who will be heading for a draw even. The flow and the sway have moved to Joseph Parker, but I guess it's all about how those first 6 rounds were scored.
Good job.
You've got Parker up now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got him up a couple of rounds. I think both men will feel, though, they want the good right hand there from Chisora.
Well, we expected this right at the end from Dereck Chisora. Last 3 minutes, good couple of right hands. He started so well. Will he close the show? Katie Taylor closed the show, didn't she? Proving her champion minerals at the end of that tough fight with Natasha Jonas. Will Chisora just drive himself on for another couple of minutes? And how are the judges seeing this? It's been a good night, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, well, we expected it to be an absorbing, tough fight, and that's exactly what it's been. Chisora jumping on him in the first 10 seconds, scoring the knockdown, and then staying close to him for the next 5 or 6 rounds, really. Parker getting more room in the second half, getting his jab off, landing those short right hands, left hooks, left uppercuts, combinations, putting shots together.
Step back, right, step back.
Bags of commitment between the pair. Nice left hand from Chisora again. Back comes Parker.
You know, it was a good right hand from Chisora, and then Parker fired back with a good hard, sharp left hook.
It's a bit wild from Parker, but he's going for it. Remember, this was the time that he hurt Dillian White at the end of their fight, and now he's really taking it to Dereck Chisora. Joseph Parker trying to finish the show as well after Dereck came out well at the beginning of this 12th round, and we've got a grandstand finish here. Well, it was a good match on paper, and it's turned out to be a really decent watch over 12 rounds. Close clash of styles, the body shots and the drive of Chisora, the classy and neat combinations and jab of Parker. Who's going to get the victory?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to admire Chisora, just, again, emptying the tank here. Another tough, hard 12-round fight, and just leaving it all in there.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, Dereck Chisora, at this stage of his career and life, that he keeps on coming into the well, deep into the well, and produces another 12 rounds. He raises his arm aloft. Does he believe he's done enough? There's the respect between the pair. No real celebrations from the Parker camp. All smiles from Andy Lee. A good, hard 12-round fight. Will we get a clear winner? Will we get a draw? Will we get a rematch? Lots of possibilities, Matt.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Shaking his head, Joe Parker. But a real pace for these heavyweights. And a tough, grueling one. As we expected, that goes the distance. Parker down in the first few seconds of the opening round. No more knockdowns, but plenty of good work from both men. Who deserves it?
I don't think anyone deserved it more than the other. I think they both gave it everything they had, but I think, you know, Chisora, it was a kind of a fight of two halves, really. Chisora had the better of the first half. Parker came back strong in the second.
What does your card say?
114, 113, Parker. 7 rounds to 5, but the knockdown that Chisora scored.
And let's go to Andy for his version.
Well, I've got it 115, 112 to Joseph Parker, so 8 rounds to 4, and that's got quite a wide look about it. But there's 2 or 3 rounds in there that I've got question marks against, which I really wasn't sure about, and I've gone to Parker with all of them. Basically, there were a number of rounds there where Chisora had a good first 2 minutes, a good first 2 minutes 30, and then Parker towards the end did some really nice, clean, snappy, crisp punching. And it's just a question of whether you feel that was enough to eclipse what Chisora did for the majority of the round. That's the calculation. By my calculation, in those rounds he did, and that's why I've ended up with the card that I've got. But I wouldn't be surprised if the judges saw it more narrowly than I did.
Yep. the feeling from Andy and Matt is Joseph Parker has done enough. But it doesn't matter. It's what the three judges have seen and what they've scored. And let's find out. Here's David.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here in Manchester, England, we go to the judges' scorecards. Howard Foster, 115, 113, Chisora. Gregors Melinda, 116, 111, Parker.
One each.
And Andrew Bell scored this contest 115 to 113 for your winner by split decision and the new WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Lupe Soliai Lauli Ale Maleatoa Joseph Parker.
It was close, and it was different on the cards. By split decision, Joseph Parker gets a very important victory, the 29th of his career. And you feel a bit for Dereck Chisora, who loses again because it was so close and he had so much of the fight, especially in the first half, and he'll be devastated about that, Dereck, but it was tight. It was good. He could get a rematch out of it, but Parker might want to move on, possibly, Matt, to, dare we say, bigger and better things?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like you say, outside of Fury and Joshua, really, you know, there's probably 5, 6, 7 heavyweights there that could mix with each other. You know, Chisora's really been on the wrong side of another close decision.
And for the people who say, you know, Dereck is done, Dereck has got to retire. I mean, again, he produced another 12 rounds where he's got a position at the table.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, a split decision defeat there against former world champion and one of the top heavyweights in the world. So he's, you know, I mean, I don't know where he keeps gaining from at 37 years old to keep that hunger and to keep that conditioning, but he is, and he's still there. He's still there with them all.
All smiles from Andy Lee.